Today we're going to look at dual occupancy house plans. Now, many investors, especially first-time investors, are looking for property investments that are cash flow positive. Now, this is where dual occupancy house plans have become very popular as they offer high-yielding rental incomes. We have spent numerous hours with specialist architects and draftspeople to perfect and refine the dual occupancy house plans that we make available to you. We want them to be as desirable and high-yielding as possible. Now, dual occupancy house plans vary from council to council. This is due to the differences in council regulations. And we are fully aware of these differences. That's why we cater to the varying council regulations with carefully thought out designs. A good example is the Ipswich City Council area. A dual occupancy property in this council area has to have a minimum of 1 bedroom in the auxiliary dwelling and no more than 50 square metres of living space. In the Logan City Council area, the auxiliary dwelling can be 2 bedrooms and have a maximum of 70 square metres for the living space for lots that are less than 1,000 square metres. So you can see then that the house plans will differ greatly for dual occupancy homes for Logan compared to Ipswich. There are a significant number of considerations when drafting dual occupancy house plans that are taken into account. Due to the restrictions on the size of the dwellings in most council areas, the key consideration that we focus on is to make the best use of the limited space available. We always try to limit the amount of wasted space and tend to look towards open plan designs. We reduce void areas and hallways where possible. Each block of land that we cite a dual occupancy house plan on will have its own set of estate covenants or circumstances and constraints that we have to work within. This will include some of the following: sufficient outside and al fresco space, dividing the backyards appropriately with fencing and so that windows face into each dwelling's own yard, entrances and parking spaces are appropriate and make the best use of the block of land, meeting the block-specific council rules such as site coverage, setbacks, etc., and also meeting individual estate covenants. Ensuring that the design makes the best use of the block of land. In every instance, there are block-specific considerations which need to be taken into account. So to ensure the best outcome, we utilise the skills and expertise of professionals which include architects, draftspeople, builders and estimators, engineers and town planners. If you'd like to know more about our dual occupancy house plans or speak with an expert, go to the Contact Us page on propertyandfinancesolutions.com.au and don't forget to download our free report on dual occupancy homes.
Dwelling is a revolutionary product that fundamentally changes the viability of investing in residential property. When viewed from the road, it appears to be a high-quality standard residential dwelling that would typically rent for approximately $450 per week, which means that it has been accepted by Queensland's leading developers of owner-occupier land estates. It's when you look at the floor plan that the revolutionary design becomes clear. What appears to be one dwelling is in fact 2 dwellings that will typically rent for an astonishing $650 per week. If we separate the 2 dwellings, you can see that as you enter the front door, we have a delightful 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home with stone benchtops to the kitchen and bathrooms, European appliances, air conditioning, and spacious outdoor living that would typically rent for $350 per week. Dividing the 2 dwellings is a commercial-grade fire-rated wall that provides fantastic insulation and sound barrier between the 2 homes. Externally, a standard height dividing fence separates the 2 backyards, creating privacy and space to both dwellings. The second dwelling comprises 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and the same high level of finish, including stone benchtops to the kitchen and bathrooms, European appliances, air conditioning, and a spacious private outdoor living area that would typically rent for $300 a week. Both homes have their own water and power meter, which means that each tenant is responsible for their own utilities cost. Now let's talk about the fundamentals of this exceptional property. The dual dwelling provides the investor with 2 rents instead of 1, which means that the property should be positively geared and you will have more money in your pocket each week. Because the dual dwelling is constructed at such a high standard, we are able to build in owner-occupier dominated estates, helping to drive capital growth. There are minimal outgoings with only 1 set of rates and no body corporate fees. If you are serious about property investment, there is no better proposition than the dual dwelling